Hello! Today we're going to be looking at a budget monitor made by Sokani. Super quick before we start, Sokani did send me this monitor for review. I was not paid otherwise to say anything else. A little history about me and my monitors. I started out with a small HD 501, sold the 501 a month-ish ago. Like a lot of people on the market, I was trying to get the new Ninja, and due to complicated / financial reasons, I have not get the Ninja 5 yet. So when Sokani reached out to me say, hey, would you like to check out this budget monitor? I was like, sure. The packaging was alright. It's not as good as you would find say on a small HD or Adamus, but it's pretty good. It comes in this nice black box and everything is very well contained inside. The monitor also comes with all the accessories you need, such as the little ball head, a battery charger, battery plate, yada yada yada, etc. The only thing I need that it didn't come with was a full-size HDMI cable that goes to my GH5. But then again, most camera on the market don't have a full-size HDMI, so that's pretty forgivable. One pretty interesting thing is that it comes with a USB, and underneath the monitor at about here, you can find a USB port, which can allow you to upgrade the firmware and such. Now going to the actual build, the Sokani is all plastic build. It is a budget monitor. It's not built as good as say a small HD, but for the price, what you're getting is not too bad. The monitor itself is sharp, it's clean, colors are alright, basically what you would expect for a budget monitor. The top of the monitor you can find 4 function buttons that you can use to control all sorts of settings that you want. Speaking of functions, the Sokani does come with all the typical functions you would find in a monitor, such as false color, aspect ratio, peaking, yada yada yada, you name it. It also has a scroll wheel on the top right, so you can navigate the menu a lot easier, instead of having a up, down, left, right button that you just have to keep clicking. The sun hood that it comes with is good. It's a little bit cumbersome to install. It uses a combination of double-side tape and Velcro that sticks on the inside of the frame of the monitor itself. And the frame that holds the monitor, it's a little tricky to put on. There are 3 individual plastic clips that are very shallow, and it's very hard to get a solid confirmation that it's clicked in. But once you get all 3 little hooks installed, it's not getting off. Pretty solid after you get it on. Just a little tricky to make sure it's on. The HDMI cable it came with is actually very stiff. And by that I mean it's not springy. It's almost like stretching out a paper clip and trying to jam the paper clip back. So it kind of loses the point of having a coiled cable because you don't get to wrap it around and such. The ball head that it comes with is sort of really cheap aluminum, but at least it's aluminum. It does hold the monitor with a big 970 battery just fine. The only problem I find with the ball head is that the bottom screwing wheel is too thin and it's a little hard to really secure it. So if you're planning on getting the Sokani, perhaps consider at least a new HDMI cable. One of the cool things about a Sokani is that even at this price range, it is a touchscreen monitor, which isn't that special at 2018 since most of the new monitors are touchscreen at this point, but it's still nice to see for a budget option to include touchscreen. And it also comes with 2 screen protectors for the monitor. Other than the plastic build, there are only 2 minor-ish complaints that I have. The first one is already pointed out in Jason's video, is that the monitor startup time is super long. I don't know why it is. Something in the software that is making the monitor to start up in like 4 seconds or something. It takes a while. It's not a big deal for me as the Sokani will most likely sit on a G7, which is a B cam for me at all times anyway. The second issue is not that surprising as it is fairly common in budget monitors, and that is its latency issue. The latency is not great, it's also not the worst that I have seen. One thing I noticed specifically with my setup with the G7 is that it seems that on the monitor, the rolling shutter / jello effect is somehow enhanced. I don't know if this is just because it's a bigger screen so that you get to see it clearer, but most of the 300-ish budget monitors on the market will also have pretty bad latency issues anyway. So in the end, the Sokani is a pretty solid budget monitor. If you're looking to buy a new monitor this holiday season, perhaps give a Sokani a try. Hello! So as I'm editing this video right now in front of my laptop, I realized that I forgot to film the outro. So I'm just gonna overlay this voiceover with some random shots of me. But yeah, leave your questions in the comments, otherwise I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Complaints that I have stay on the G7, which is a beak. Stop messaging me! One thing I noticed particularly on the G7 setup... Did it just died? Oh. Okay. Well, you shall look at a Sokani floating around with a train horn in the background. Choo choo. And a message. Like a lot of people on the market, I was trying to get the Ninja 5. Oh my god, stop. Completely forgot to mute. Totally forgot to mute my phone before I filmed this. So if any point throughout this video, there is a Facebook messaging popping up or a text message, I apologize. The G7 doesn't have HDMI out while it's recording, so this monitor is kind of useless on the G7. It's the G7's fault. It's not, the monitor's fault, but